morning.
A few years ago, I started a journey. Via plane, train, and automobile, I set out to visit all 50 states. Now it's time to check out the 17 ones I had already visited prior to starting my quest. Welcome to my 50 before 50 adventure part 2, the earlier 17. Warning, I have an accent. Sometimes it may be hard to understand what I'm saying. Occasional grammatical mistakes may be heard or read. Viewer discretion is advised. Well, back on the road we are. Crossing not one, not two, but 3 state lines, and a final destination with a first on my 50 before 50 journey. This is quite a treat, and I'll let you know why. This is the only state that I'm going to show you in wintertime and in summertime. Utah is a dry state because it's a Mormon state, and that is not something I like, but it is what it is. And what I don't know is why the Mormons settled here. So we'll find out. So this is Utah in summertime. Welcome to Utah, also known as the Beehive State. Not a shabby view, I guess. And welcome to my hotel in Springsdale, located by the entrance of Zion National Park. Speaking of views, I had quite a few ones, but this one might take the cake. Yep, but as great as the view from the hotel was, there's nothing like the real deal. Zion National Park. That's where we're going. So after driving through the cutest little downtown, I made my entrance into Utah's first national park out of a total of 5, kicking off my visit with a quick stop at the Visitor Center, where I was pleased to find another Civilian Conservation Corps worker statue. Hey, remember this one? Just like the one I found back in North Dakota, as they are all over the United States. But back to the park. Okay guys, almost 7 p.m. and I'm melting. Yes, 7 p.m. and still a lot of people visiting. And while I knew I wouldn't have time for a full hike, Zion still offers plenty of scenic drives and amazing views of its many canyons, peaks, cliffs, and different formations. First impressions? Wow. Established on November 19th, 1919, and expanding for almost 230 square miles, the impressive and tall canyon walls get their color and shape from the Navajo sandstone they are made out of. For centuries, they have undergone an extraordinary process of erosion, as its official website reads, resulting in the most astonishing views and elaborate patterns. So you know those layered potatoes au gratin, whatever you call them, I don't know how to say it. But yeah, it looks like that, like slices of potatoes. It's hard to describe. This is so beautiful and so weird, so unique. Let me show you. Yep, quite fascinating. But not all was that great. My least favorite part, the tunnels. Carved into the mountain and quite narrow, that take quite a long time to complete. Yep, definitely not my cup of tea. But in the end, it was all worthwhile. A perfect first day at the park, wrapped with a refreshing dinner within the same gorgeous settings. Now here's hoping day 2 measures up. Good morning, Utah. Zion National Park, day 2. And today, my friends, is hiking day. Let's do it. So why not start with a shuttle ride to one of the most iconic hikes this park has to offer? You better not be in a hurry for this one. By the way, there's always somebody who's in a hurry in national parks. And you see cars like rushing you. My guys, again, national park. Chill out. Okay, back to the ride. And welcome to the Temple-of-Sinawava. Temple-of-Sinawava, or however you pronounce this. This is the actual temple behind me, and I'm about to start a hike. And it's noon. I do not recommend this time for a hike. But hey, it is what it is. Lots of bikes. And something you would never see in my country is this. Leaving your belongings here while you hike. Gotta love Utah. Named after the Paiute Indians' coyote god, the Temple-of-Sinawava is a natural sandstone amphitheater carved by the Virgin River that sits at the north end of Zion Canyon. From here on, the canyon starts to narrow, giving birth to the popular Riverside Walk Trail, which leads to the even more popular The Narrows. Rumor has it that once you get into the Narrows, you have to go deep into the river too. So the fact that I was starting to see wet footprints get into the water was a good sign. And honestly, just a refreshing thing to see at this point. So after a mile-long walk, crossing a lot of people, some of whom can clearly not read well, I made it into the Narrows. The water's really cold. And either I walk or I film. So bye. I guess sometimes it gets actually quite deep. Oh Lord. I'll tell you this, it is refreshing. This gorge is only 20 feet wide at its tightest, yet it can reach up to 2,000 feet tall. The surface you walk on, it's quite slippery and uneven, so wearing the right footwear is key. And clearly something I have failed at yet again. But I made it safely all the way through, taking with me the magnificent views of this place. Okay, mission accomplished. Now off to the next hike. But before that, a ride back to the Zion Lodge, checking out the magnificent set of sandstone monoliths known as the Three Patriarchs, formerly known as the Three Wise Men, a favorite among the almost 5 million visitors the park receives each year. Then a quick stop to grab a bite at the historic and gorgeous Zion Lodge, which was built in the 1920s, and it's the only lodging structure within the national park. And only after that, it was time for the second and final hike of the day, the Emerald Pools Trail, which warning signs can be quite scary and confusing, to be honest. But as long as you don't fall, it is absolutely worth it. The Emerald Pools Trail is a mesmerizing experience and an absolute gift for your eyes and senses. Not only will you find amazing rock structures with intricate textures and super vivid colors, but also a variety of plants and animals, including holes most likely to host some of the 19 species of bats that call Zion home. I hope there's no bats. And of course, you will also find plenty of pools and waterfalls that are simply too gorgeous to be admired just by humans. Amidst all of this beauty, it is no wonder that, among other things, this place has been the backdrop to plenty of films, like the legendary 1969 classic Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. But there's another part of Utah that I visit often and that I absolutely adore. And that is Park City, Utah. So let me show it to you in wintertime. Good morning. So this is winter in Park City, Utah. Oh, Park City. This enchanted little town is nestled within the mountains at almost 7,000 feet and is as dreamy as little mountain towns can be. Covered by art and snow everywhere you go, it is a major ski and snowboarding center, attracting a huge number of tourists, so much so that its current tourist population far exceeds its permanent residents one. This town, which has a very rich history, was officially incorporated in 1884, has served as host to the 2002 Winter Olympics, a role that it may reprise in 2034, and is currently the home of the United States ski team, with different snow activities going on all winter long, both during day and night. But ski was not always the reigning industry here. Back in the day, it was all about mining, a history you can explore at the Park City Museum. By the end of the 1800s, mining put this place on the map due to its healthy production of lead, gold, and mostly silver, which brought in the usual mining crowds we've all seen in films. Yep, bandits included. This is the actual jail. This is not a replica. Look how narrow this is. I can barely fit. Is tight. But World War I, the Great Depression, and World War II were of no help for this place's economy. So with silver prices going down, plus the deadly fire of 1898 and a catastrophic mining accident in 1902, the town nearly became a ghost town. Thankfully, tourism came to the rescue, but not only through snow activities. It is no secret the beauty of this place makes a lot of people fall in love with it. And one of them was none other than actor, activist, and filmmaker extraordinaire Robert Redford, who fell for Utah while filming Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid back in 1969. A love that eventually gave birth to the largest independent film fest on the whole U.S., the Sundance Film Festival, which started here in 1978 and where I have been volunteering for almost a decade. January of each year, this city gets extra crazy. Yes, for 2 weeks every January, the city dresses up for the festival, welcoming people from all over the world and offering tons of screenings from early morning till midnight in venues all over town, including its most iconic one, the Egyptian Theater, right here on Main Street. As per life as a Sundance Film Festival volunteer, well, let me show you. Good morning, everyone. First day of snow. Fresh snow all over. A lot of people going skiing. It's not my case. First of all, there's tons of work, let's be clear. But whenever we have free time, it's all about the screenings. And I brave whatever is needed to make it to as many as possible. It's a session of early mornings, late nights, freezing weather, and maybe a little bit of sun. Finally, the sun is out. And then, once the day is over, we do it all over again. Yay! Of course, we also get to enjoy parties, exclusive panels, and a drink here and there. We have wine! Sadly, 2026 was the last year Utah welcomed the Film Fest in its state, but it's good to know that the Sundance Institute headquarters will remain here, where its founder, Bob Redford, always intended it to be. Oh, but before we go, I guess I owe you something. So I still owe you the story of how Utah became the state with the largest settlement of Mormons in the whole U.S. And it's as simple as it gets. Basically, they wanted to have freedom of religion and go to a place where they can be and practice their religion without being prosecuted, which they were. They were based previously in Illinois, and their founder and leader had been killed. So they decided to move to a place where they could be free, secured, and far away from a lot of noise. Let's just put it that way. So they decided on Mexico. Because, yeah, back in 1844, all of this and everything south was indeed Mexico. So that's why they came here. And now this is a wrap. A true farewell to all the memories I created in Park City all over the years. Like this picture of its amazing skies, which I took the first time I visited. Happy to see that in spite of all the changes, ups and downs, and whatever curveball life may throw at us, some things never change.